What's happening, guys? Zach Evanesh here, zachevanesh.com. Links are below, you crazy kids. Got a very cool question. I love when these questions come in. I actually love all of your questions. I really do. I love doing this Q&A. I want to set something up here in New Jersey at one of my locations where you guys come and we do a live podcast. I did that with Travis Mash last spring, and I had a great time. So let's read this question coming from Jacob. And he sent me this question from the blog. It says, Zach, I'll make this short because I know you have thousands of others to respond to. I don't have thousands, but this has been going on for, I feel like 6-7 years probably. I get 50 to 100 emails a day. And I do answer pretty much most of them. And here we go. It says, what you do highly motivates me, and I truly desire to create the kind of strength community I have seen you create. I live in Tijeras, New Mexico, outside of Albuquerque in the mountains. It's a large growing community that's missing the type of strong lifestyle that you walk. I've got people coming up to me all the time looking for something better than the fitness gyms with machines down the street. I have a huge passion for all things strength, like you say, mind, body, and spirit. I have a little bit of nervousness about making this jump because I have no degree in exercise and fitness, but I'm driven to do this. I'm reaching out to you for advice and how to journey through this thing. I appreciate your time if you're able to respond. Of course I'm able to respond. That's what I do, brother. So, Jacob, a couple things. I know a lot of people who have many degrees. They have advanced degrees in exercise science, anatomy and physiology, biology, PhDs, and they're not that smart. They don't have a practicality behind what they do. Sometimes they speak above and beyond everybody's head, and they just use science, and can't do anything outside of a scientific training thing. Start small. I always recommend this. Go ahead and start training some people out of your garage. They will train with you as your training partner. That's going to be the way to do it. They will have to pay you through their blood, sweat, dedication, effort, consistency, all of those beautiful things that require us to achieve success. If they don't follow through, you kick them out. So in the beginning, nobody's even paying you money. They're paying you and earning their way in through the dedication. You will start building your confidence like that. You could do my certification online, undergroundstrengthcert.com. You could do other certifications. You could travel to California. I know New Mexico sometimes has a hammer strength clinic. You could visit University of New Mexico, see their strength and conditioning program, talk with their strength coaches. Most coaches in the strength and conditioning industry are awesome. So they would love, for you to be there to ask questions and volunteer and do all of these things. Then, once you get that ball rolling, once you start building up, let's get some lights on here for you peoples. Once you start building up some momentum, you're training 3 people. They're working out with you. 5 people, 10 people, 20 people. Now you start building that community. A community doesn't explode all of a sudden. We've got 40, 50, 100 people. Great things. Oftentimes, there's a struggle behind it. It takes time to build it. They don't just explode. Now, once you start getting things going and you're forced out of your garage, go ahead and rent a small garage. Rent a small warehouse space. Then you start charging people to train with you if that's what you desire to do. You might just make it. And I listened to this recently on the Power Athlete Radio podcast. Many gym owners that are passionate like myself, many of them end up shutting down their gyms because they just want to work with the most high level, aggressively thinking people. They kind of get tired of, hey, you got to train 3 days a week. How come you're not here the past 2 weeks? They get tired of that shit. So they turn things into more of a private style. If you want to build a community, it doesn't have to be a traditional gym. You could have a very private gym. People could pay you to train with you as training partners, or maybe no money at all. And then you could do community things where you're building your style of training, contributing it to the local school systems, and finding ways to build a community that's maybe not quote unquote normal, a typical gym. having a gym has certainly got the ups and downs, but I'm always moving towards the perfect day. Who do I want to train? What type of athletes do I want to train? I want you to think about that before you go and, say, I'm going to, build this whole thing. What does your perfect community look like? For me, more and more, I'm realizing that the athletes with the least amount of excuses, that are the most dedicated, with the most supportive parents and the most understanding, tends to be the wrestlers. They understand it's about grit, hard work, and getting after it. Where I find the other athletes and their parents are looking for a lot of tricks and fads and shortcuts and gimmicks. And those are the things that I don't stand for. They're not what I'm about. So I move down my lane. I take my path, my journey. And that's what I want you to do, because if you could do that, and that's called Your Unique Ability. That's a book that you should read from strategic coach Dan Sullivan. Unique Ability. You could also Google it and find videos on it. You will be the most motivated and the best that you could possibly be. So build the community according to what is in your heart and you're most passionate about. Start like that, my brother. And of course, go to my website, zachevanish.com. Click on the business thing that says, "Are you a strength coach?" Lots of free business tips for you to kick things off. Keep me posted how it goes. Links below for Twitter and Instagram are great ways to keep me in the loop. Thanks, guys.